Alright folks, gather round. Today we're diving into the world of Cowboy Caviar. It's a dish that sounds a little unusual, especially when you consider where it's from. Cowboy Caviar, from Texas. It's not exactly what you picture when you think of the Lone Star State, is it? But trust me on this one. Cowboy Caviar is a whole lot more interesting than you might think. We're about to uncover what makes Cowboy Caviar so special, so get ready for a culinary adventure. We're about to unravel the mystery behind Cowboy Caviar, exploring its history, its flavors, and its undeniable appeal. The first question that pops into mind is, where does Cowboy Caviar even come from? The name itself holds a clue. You see, Cowboy Caviar didn't start out with that name. It was originally known as Texas Caviar. Texas Caviar was created by a talented chef named Helen Corbett back in the 1940s. She was working at the Driscoll Hotel in Austin, a pretty swanky place known for its elegance. So, we have this dish born in the heart of Texas, a playful take on luxury with its humble ingredients and tongue-in-cheek name. But how did Texas Caviar become Cowboy Caviar? It's a subtle shift, but it speaks volumes about the dish's evolution. As Texas Caviar gained popularity, it started to spread beyond the state's borders. People fell in love with its unique flavors and that catchy name. But somewhere along the way, Texas morphed into cowboy. But even with the name change, one question remains: why call it caviar at all? We're talking about black-eyed peas and corn, not delicate fish eggs. It's here that our Opus Caviar article gets really interesting. They argue that the name isn't about the ingredients themselves, but the experience they create. It's about making luxury accessible, about capturing that sense of indulgence without the hefty price tag. Now, you might be thinking, wouldn't adding some real caviar actually elevate Cowboy Caviar, make it even more luxurious? It's a valid thought, but here's where things get really intriguing. The article actually advises against adding real caviar to the mix. Yes, you heard that right. They're adamant about it. So, we're faced with a bit of a paradox. We have this playfully named dish, Cowboy Caviar, that hints at luxury and indulgence. But it's built on a foundation of simplicity, of everyday ingredients transformed into something special. Perhaps the resistance to adding real caviar stems from a desire to preserve the spirit of Helen Corbett's original creation. Remember, she wasn't trying to replicate caviar or create a high-end dish. She was playing with expectations, turning the idea of luxury on its head by using humble, accessible ingredients. So we're left with a culinary conundrum. On the one hand, we have the allure of real caviar, the epitome of luxury and indulgence. On the other hand, we have Cowboy Caviar, a dish that's already perfect in its simplicity and authenticity. It's a clash of culinary worlds, a debate about the very definition of luxury. So we've talked a lot about what makes Cowboy Caviar conceptually unique, but what about the actual flavors? What makes it so darn delicious? Well, it all starts with those core ingredients, the heart and soul of this Texan delight. We're talking black-eyed peas, black beans, corn, bell peppers, tomatoes, all chopped up and tossed together. Sounds simple, right? But it's the way these humble ingredients interact, the symphony of flavors they create, that makes Cowboy Caviar so special. Each ingredient brings its own distinct personality to the party. And let's not forget the tomatoes, juicy and slightly acidic, their tangy flavor cutting through the richness of the beans and corn. But it's not just the flavors that make Cowboy Caviar so addictive, it's the textures too. You've got the creamy softness of the beans, the satisfying pop of the corn kernels, the crisp crunch of the bell peppers, all coming together in perfect harmony. But here's the thing about Cowboy Caviar. It's not afraid to be simple. It doesn't rely on fancy techniques or exotic ingredients to impress. It's a celebration of fresh, wholesome flavors, a reminder that sometimes the most satisfying dishes are the ones that let the ingredients speak for themselves. And that's what makes it so approachable, so inviting. Alright folks, let's talk recipes. We've established that Cowboy Caviar is more than just a dip. It's a culinary chameleon that can transform into a multitude of delicious dishes. And one of its most beloved incarnations is the Cowboy Caviar Pasta Salad. Now I know what you're thinking. Pasta salad? That's about as far from caviar as you can get, right? But trust me on this one. The Cowboy Caviar Pasta Salad takes everything you love about the original dip, the fresh, vibrant flavors, the satisfying textures, and elevates it to a whole new level. But what really sets this pasta salad apart is the way the flavors and textures play off each other. You've got the creamy softness of the beans, the satisfying pop of the corn kernels, the crisp crunch of the bell peppers, all intertwined with the perfectly cooked pasta. And then there's that dressing, that magical elixir that ties everything together. The tangy lime juice, the fruity olive oil, the subtle hint of spice, it's the perfect complement to the other ingredients. For a little heat, try adding some diced jalapenos or a pinch of red pepper flakes. And if you're feeling really adventurous, some crumbled bacon or chopped grilled chicken would take this salad to a whole new level of deliciousness. But no matter how you dress it up, the Cowboy Caviar Pasta Salad is a guaranteed crowd pleaser. It's a dish that's as delicious as it is easy to make, as impressive as it is approachable. Now let's move on to a dish that might sound a little unorthodox, the Cowboy Caviar Main Course Salad. You heard that right, folks? We're taking this Texan delight beyond the realm of dips and pasta salads and giving it center stage as a satisfying and flavorful meal. Now I know what you might be thinking. Can a salad really be a meal? Well, this isn't your average side salad, folks. But the magic doesn't stop there. To elevate this salad to main course status, we're going to add some key components that bring in extra flavor, texture, and of course, protein. First up, the dressing. While the classic lime vinaigrette works wonders with the Cowboy Caviar mix, for this salad we're going to kick things up a notch. A creamy avocado dressing made with ripe avocados, tangy lime juice, fresh cilantro, and a touch of jalapeno for a subtle kick adds a richness and depth of flavor that perfectly complements the other ingredients. And for an extra layer of flavor and texture, consider adding some crunchy tortilla strips or crumbled tortilla chips. They add a satisfying crunch and a hint of saltiness that balances out the sweetness of the corn and the tanginess of the dressing. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This salad is starting to sound a little busy, a little far removed from the simplicity of the original Cowboy Caviar. But that's the beauty of this dish. It's incredibly versatile and adaptable. Section 4. A celebration of freshness and flavor. Don't be afraid to experiment, to mix and match flavors and textures until you find a combination that makes your taste buds sing. And who knows, you might just discover your new go-to salad recipe, one that celebrates the freshness, the vibrancy, and the undeniable deliciousness of Cowboy Caviar in a whole new way. Section 1. A dip with a difference. Alright folks, let's talk about a classic way to enjoy Cowboy Caviar as a dip. It's the perfect party appetizer, the kind of dish that disappears in minutes, leaving your guests wanting more. What makes Cowboy Caviar such a great dip? It's the balance of flavors and textures, the heartiness of the beans, the sweetness of the corn, the crunch of the bell peppers, and the zesty dressing. It's a symphony of flavors that dances across your tongue. Now, when it comes to choosing your dipping vessel, the possibilities are endless. Tortilla chips are a classic choice. Their salty crunch, the perfect complement to the fresh, vibrant flavors of the Cowboy Caviar. But don't be afraid to branch out. Pita bread triangles toasted to a golden crisp offer a lighter, airier alternative. And for a healthier option, fresh vegetable sticks, think carrots, celery, bell peppers, provide a refreshing crunch and a boost of vitamins. But the key to a truly outstanding Cowboy Caviar dip experience lies in the details. First and foremost, make sure your dip is well chilled. The flavors meld and intensify as it sits in the refrigerator, so give it at least an hour or two to work its magic. Second, don't be afraid to adjust the seasonings to your liking. If you prefer a little more heat, add a diced jalapeno or a pinch of red pepper flakes. For a touch of sweetness, try a drizzle of honey or agave nectar. And lastly, presentation is key. A colorful serving bowl, a sprinkle of fresh cilantro or chopped green onions, a side of colorful tortilla chips. These small touches can elevate your Cowboy Caviar dip from ordinary to extraordinary. But most importantly, remember to have fun with it. Cowboy Caviar is a dish that's meant to be shared, to be enjoyed with friends and family. So gather your loved ones, put on some music, and let the good times roll. Because with every dip of a chip, every crunch of a vegetable stick, you're not just tasting a delicious snack, you're experiencing a little slice of Texas hospitality. And that, my friends, is something truly special. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to explore a Cowboy Caviar creation that'll have you rethinking everything you thought you knew about this Texan treasure. We're talking about Cowboy Caviar Chicken, a dish that takes those vibrant, zesty flavors we love and pairs them with juicy, grilled chicken for a culinary experience that's pure Texas magic. The flavors here, they just work. You've got that smoky char from the grill, the savory goodness of the chicken, and then BAM! That explosion of freshness and spice from the Cowboy Caviar comes in and steals the show. It's a flavor combination that'll have you dancing a jig in your boots. While the chicken's marinating, it's time to whip up a batch of that glorious Cowboy Caviar. Black-eyed peas, black beans, corn, bell peppers, tomatoes, all chopped up and tossed in that tangy, zesty dressing. You know the drill. Now here's where the magic happens. Once your chicken's grilled to perfection, those beautiful grill marks, that slightly charred exterior, you're gonna pile on a generous heaping spoonful of that Cowboy Caviar right on top. The heat from the chicken will slightly warm the Cowboy Caviar, releasing even more of those incredible flavors. And when you take that first bite, folks, get ready for a flavor explosion. You've got the smoky char of the grill, the savory chicken, the sweet corn, the tangy tomatoes, the creamy beans, and that touch of heat from the jalapenos. It's a party in your mouth, and everyone's invited. Section 3, Beyond the Plate, Embracing the Cowboy Caviar Spirit. But Cowboy Caviar Chicken is more than just a tasty meal, folks. It's a testament to the spirit of Texas cuisine. That ability to take simple, humble ingredients and transform them into something truly special. It's about embracing bold flavors, experimenting with unexpected pairings, and creating dishes that are as satisfying as they are full of life. And that's what I love most about Cowboy Caviar. It's a dish that inspires creativity, that encourages you to step outside your comfort zone and try new things. It's a reminder that the best culinary adventures often start with a simple question: what if? So, the next time you're firing up the grill, don't be afraid to think outside the box. Ditch the same old barbecue sauce and reach for a bowl of Cowboy Caviar instead. You might be surprised at the culinary magic you can create with a little bit of Texas ingenuity, and who knows, you might even discover your new go-to grilled chicken recipe, one that's bursting with flavor, personality, and a whole lot of Texas charm. Texas cuisine. But now, it's your turn, folks. It's time to take what you've learned, to embrace the spirit of Cowboy Caviar, and to embark on your own culinary adventures. Experiment with different ingredients, explore new flavor combinations, and don't be afraid to put your own personal spin on this Texan classic. Because the beauty of Cowboy Caviar lies not just in its taste, but in its ability to inspire, to connect, and to bring people together around the table for a shared experience of pure culinary joy. Section 1. A humble dish, a world of possibilities. Well, folks, we've covered a whole lot of ground today, explored the nooks and crannies of this here Cowboy Caviar. Started with a name that seemed downright contradictory, caviar in the heart of Texas. And yet here we are, full of that Cowboy Caviar spirit, and ain't it a beautiful thing? We talked about its roots, how a simple dish born in a fancy hotel kitchen captured the hearts and taste buds of folks far and wide. Remember Helen Corbett, bless her soul, turning those everyday ingredients into something special, something uniquely Texan? And let's not forget those 4 recipes, each one a testament to the versatility of this here dish. Pasta salad, a crowd-pleasing classic with a cowboy caviar twist. Main course salad, proving that salads ain't just for sidekicks. The dip, a party in a bowl, just begging for a chip to dive in. And that cowboy caviar chicken, well, that's a love story for the ages right there. But amidst all the recipes and stories, there's a bigger lesson here, folks. Cowboy Caviar, in all its simplicity, reminds us that sometimes the most delicious things in life are the ones that start with humble beginnings. It's about taking what you got, treating it with a little love and creativity, and turning it into something truly special. Section 2, the Cowboy Caviar Challenge. Saddle up and get cooking. And now, I'm turning the reins over to you, my friends. It's time to take this Cowboy Caviar spirit and ride it into your own kitchens. Don't be afraid to experiment, to get a little wild with those ingredients. Remember that article we talked about? The one that warned against messing with a good thing by adding real caviar? Well, I'm gonna challenge that notion a bit. Not by actually adding caviar, mind you, but by encouraging you to find your own unique twist, your own signature spin on this classic dish. What speaks to your taste buds? What ingredients are calling your name? Maybe it's a sprinkle of crumbled queso fresco for a tangy kick, or a handful of roasted pepitas for a satisfying crunch. Or maybe you're feeling adventurous and want to try some diced mango or pineapple for a touch of sweetness. The possibilities, they're as vast as the Texas sky, folks. So go on, get those creative juices flowing. Whip up a batch of cowboy caviar your way. Share it with your loved ones, gather around the table, and savor the flavors of your own culinary adventure. And hey, if you come up with something truly special, something that makes your taste buds sing, don't be shy about sharing it with the world. Post those recipes, snap those photos, and tag them with #CowboyCaviarChallenge. Let's see what culinary masterpieces we can create together, inspired by the spirit of this humble yet extraordinary Texan delight. Until next time, happy cooking, y'all.